there's something different about you tonight.
There is something very different, not just about me, but
What
the whole
might be
place.
the lighting, you know, some twinkly lights out there. What do you think it is?
We're in a new place.
No.
Are you excited?
Yeah, we've got new people.
We've got new people.
No, we haven't.
We've got a total new cast and everything. It's all going on, absolutely.
We've got our Colin there.
We've got our Colin.
We've
He's
passed our
looking
Hayley.
good. We've got our Hayley. We've got our guests in place.
New glitter ball.
New glitter ball. Where?
Your Manchester. Welcome to today's Your Manchester.
We come to you from our new studio in the heart of Canal Street.
Yes, after all that Halloween spookiness of the past month, we've decided to give our studio a little breather.
However, that doesn't mean the format of our show is changing, not one bit. We still have all the fun and the seriousness you expect from the TV here.
Seriousness. In fact, tonight's show proves just that, though. We have got a jam-packed show. We're going to be reflecting on this weekend's Christmas light switch on. We've got some special guests, and in the studio today, of course, we've got our very own Hayley and Colin in their relevant corners. It sounds like they're going to fight.
It does, doesn't it?
I hope not.
Like the boxing.
But tonight, we are also, more importantly, going to be discussing GRA.
Yes, indeed. It's a subject we, as part of Manchester's LGBT+ community, really think is important to understand. And whilst we totally understand there is two sides to every story, tonight we look at understanding why everybody deserves equality.
But first up, we're going to be joined by our lovely Kris. Now, he went last weekend to the Christmas light switch on right here in Manchester. What was it like?
It was amazing. It's one of the best nights I've had, and that's the first time I've ever been. So for me, it was just something very special, and obviously no one was covering it, but just to be there in person and up close and interview the people that I did, and of course, Heartthrob, which was Matt
We should
George.
probably have a look at it then, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's have a look at it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight is one of my favourite nights of the calendar. It is, of course, the amazing 2018 light switch on. There is so many stars. Headlining, we have Jonas Blue, we've got the amazing Max George from The Wanted, and of course the beautiful Cinderella cast, as well as Wicked. There's just so much to go, but there's one thing, I've got a backstage pass. I think I want to go and speak to some stars. Let's go. So how is it feeling about going by yourself without the boys?
A lot quieter. Yeah, a lot quieter. At first it was. I found it pretty strange, just like doing the radio tours and stuff like that, because sort of in a car and like
You miss the people.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I'm getting used to it now, and because it's like my own record label, we have I've just employed a load of mates to do stuff. So like my tour manager is my best mate, so that keeps it kind of wanted-ish, I guess.
So you're performing tonight for your Manchester crowd, your hometown. How does that feel for you, mate?
Oh, it's always special for me, more special than anywhere. I know it's pretty biased, but and I've got so many friends and family here. I think there's about 50 of them here tonight, so it's a special night for them. And I know my mum's been buzzing.
Call me crazy, but I need you now.
Being Cinderella, would you say there's any pressures from previous ones at all?
Do you know what? I think there is, because it's such a well-known character. You'd struggle to find somebody that hasn't seen some version of it. So I suppose there's that. But I'm just going to be me, and hopefully people will like that, and that's the only thing I can do, really.
I'm sure there will be. I hear a Rochdale accent there, is that right?
It is a Rochdale accent. I've been trying to get away from it, but yeah, you can't disguise it, I suppose, can you?
So why should people come and see Cinderella?
Because it's just going to be such a fantastic show. Like I said, we've got a great cast. The production team behind it are putting 100%. The songs, the technical side of it. It's going to be such a great show.
Thanks, Kris. Now, GRA stands for Gender Recognition Act, and it has been in the press a lot as striking a divide between the trans community and feminists across the country.
Yes, indeed. One protester present in Newcastle said, "No one has the right to tell you how to identify. It's up to you."
However, one feminist protester said she was shocked by the level of vitriol. She went on to say, "I don't like being in a stairwell where I'm frightened I'm going to be pushed by a man in a balaclava and a mask who's telling me that he is a woman. And if I don't accept that, I'm a Nazi. I don't think flagging this up as a substantial problem. I don't think trans women are women. My values are in line with protecting girls."
And so the debate goes on. So here to help us further understand this issue, please welcome our guests, Hollyoaks actress Annie Wallace and Mr. Tony Cooper, village licensee, former trustee of Sparkle, the National Transgender Charity, and the founder of the National Transgender Memorial. Welcome to you both. How are you?
Hiya.
So what's going on then? What's the big kick-off all about, really?
How long have you got? We could be here all day. We could be here all day talking about it.
Why is it suddenly come to everybody's attention now to make such a big thing about this?
Well, I mean, it started with the fact that the government announced a consultation.
A couple of years ago, Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, had a big vote, and it was to allow or not to allow equal marriage. And part of that vote was also that trans people should be given the right to change their legal status, which they previously hadn't been able to do. So they allowed their system for gender recognition is a system which has, for one reason or another, been called self-identification. Now that means that you supply all the details, your change of name, your details, your doctor's details, things like that, your statutory declaration, your legal document that says that this is an irrevocable thing, and you're not going to change your mind, and then you fill out a form, you pay a small fee, and you hand it in to the government or the government offices, and they say, "Thank you very much," bang, there you go. In Britain, we have a similar system that you hand all that in, but once a month, 6 or 7 people sit in a closed room with absolutely no minutes and no accountability, and they look through all the applications and they go, yes, no, yes. There are even people who have been transitioned socially and actually surgically, who have not been given a British gender recognition certificate purely because they didn't have the right paperwork.
And some of the arguments from the other side are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous, because the GRA, most of the arguments that they're using about using changing rooms, etc., 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 they're not even part of the GRA.
No.
They're already covered under the Equalities Act anyway. So they're dragging
This is we can use any changing room wanted, is it?
Yeah, I mean, not wanted, but the Equalities Act gives you the right to use the bathroom or the facilities that you identify with.
Okay.
It's appropriate to your living gender.
Okay.
I think that's the way they
I
put
think that's
it.
the
Yeah,
phrase,
yeah.
isn't it?
So it has been noted in the press recently, and we've all heard about people ticketing and flyering in the village. That really struck a chord with you, I know, Tony, and you've decided to do something to combat that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were out, the other side were out, they were fly posting, damage, graffitiing toilets. I mean, not just around the village, I mean, around the whole of the city centre of Manchester. And it was transphobic. What they were doing was transphobic, and they were attacking trans people in their safe space. And we weren't prepared to let that happen. So we put up, right across the village, virtually every single venue turned around and supported and put up "No turfs on our turf" posters, and have put increased toilet checks, etc.
And elsewhere in the country.
Yeah, and that spread. That spread to Bristol, to Coventry, to Birmingham, to Newcastle. I mean, right across the country, people were taking up these posters and saying, actually, you're not going to do it in here either. So we've, it's a great response to something that was really hurtful. It's a shame that, local news outlets like Mancunian Matters pick it up and publish headlines. "Village divided over turf wars" was the headline, which was absolutely false.
Because the village isn't divided.
It was absolutely false. Absolutely
Villages united on this issue.
Yeah, there is nothing more that has united the village for a long time.
Yeah.
Headlines like that, turning around and saying, the village is divided. Trust me, the village isn't.
And let's not forget, Manchester Pride was led by a conglomeration of groups, of feminist groups, who were basically going, you know, L with the T, and
Yeah.
you know that was something that was very big in this year's Manchester Pride. Is that our fabulous lesbian friends and colleagues all came out in support of all the trans hatred that's being given to people at the moment.
And one of the first venues to contact me for a poster was Vanilla, which, you know, our amazing long-standing lesbian bar on the village. One of the first venues to contact me for you know, so the support's there. There is no division. The most important thing is we will not put up with that kind of hate on our village.
No.
So we know the consultation period has now ended. Whereabouts are we now? Are we expecting some kind of response anytime soon?
So it looks like the response is due in the spring. We've got a couple of other little consultations that are going to happen before then. So we've got a consultation for our non-binary friends, and we've also got a consultation for intersex people as well. So those are going to happen, and the response for all of them is supposed to be in the spring. I think that's very much going to be a political thing. It seems very much driven at the moment by Theresa May. If we've still got Theresa May in the spring, I think we'll get a result. If we haven't, then possibility, without a change of government, is going to get kicked into the long
And what's
grass.
the ideal then? What would you like to see happen?
Adopt the island model and shut up.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
You have an example of a model that was consulted upon, acted upon, and has a 2-year history of success. I mean, nothing's perfect. There's obviously the odd little tiny blip, as there will be in any legislation, in any situation. But you're talking about something which has proved to work and work successfully and safely. And why would you try and, you know, remake the egg? It is a perfect. Well, I'm sorry, perfect. It is a good starting point,
It's
working
a good
model.
Good working model.
Yeah, exactly.
And we, you know, it's really easy. Adopt that model, and let's just get on with it.
And move on, and people can just carry on
Yeah.
with their lives and do what they do every day. Bakers and bus drivers and actors and things like that.
No. Well, we'll be
People being what
keeping
they
our
want to
eye on it
be.
here with
Yeah,
your Manchester,
definitely.
and you know, hopefully it will be the outcome that everybody wants. But thank you so much for joining us, Tony. Thank you for coming back as well, Annie. In fact, you're both friends of your Manchester. You've been on a few times
We
now.
have, yes. I'm sorry I gabbled so much.
Oh no, I like it. I like it. It's always a good little chat with these two, isn't it? But I would say thank you very much. And if you've got any opinions about this, either way, please feel free to get in touch with us over on contactus@yourmanchester.com. Well, I wonder if the soaps are looking any more joyful now that Halloween's over.
Oh, well, there's only one lady who can tell us. So over to our soap corner and our lovely Hales.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to my new soap corner. So we're going to kick off over the Pennines today, and in Emmerdale this week, Lauren dumps Bob in front of an audience. She just can't handle his stripper routine. Kane asks Debbie to come back to work at the garage, and on Friday, Charity tries to console Debbie when she talks about Joe. And Rishi's exploits, they go viral. Now back over the Pennines this way to our lovely Cobbles, and on Friday, Nick's mystery woman Elsa arrives, watched by Carla. Now Carla gets Nick's address from his sat-nav, but she is surprised by what she finds. Leanne is ready to give Nick another chance too. Do we smell trouble in paradise? Meanwhile, Tracy agrees to go for lunch with Steve on the condition he sorts Abby out with a job. Kate suggests to Rana that they should do some baby research, and Gina is absolutely gutted when Tim is delighted that she has joined a dating site. Will they embark on an affair with our Sal behind the bars? That's it from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, that's it for tonight's show, but on Tuesday we are going to a very special event for my bad mums.
Indeed. We've also got Sports Corner with the welcome return of our titters.
Hurrah! And also, we are going to be remembering to celebrate the poppies with Remembrance Day just around the corner.
So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching
Your
Manchester.
as you can see right behind me, the Weeping Window it's called, is such a beautiful sight, and it's come to join us in Media City in Salford for a very special occasion. Now basically the poppies are absolutely beautiful to look at, but it's quite emotional being here and obviously seeing them as well. Now these poppies are the same poppies that was from the 2014 from the amazing Tower of London. Now I went there, I saw that, it was very special, but to see them in Salford is just something extremely special. Now the poppies are made by designer Paul Cummins and also the artist, which is Tom Piper. Now when you come and look at these poppies, you really see them for what they are. They are just a pure beauty, but there's a lot of emotion attached to this site as well, especially while these are here. And it will be bringing a lot of emotions coming up, especially for World War One.